Hey folks, welcome to Andy's Audio Crap, where we talk about audio gear in all of its glory. Today we're actually not going to talk about gear at all, more so the market around the gear. Let's get to it. There's a lot to cover in this video, but before digging into it, I want to stress that I'm trying to present this in a way where you can come to your own conclusion, although I will present my opinion at the end. Let's go ahead and dig into it. There's a lot to cover here. Media trends. When we look at media trends, we see it actually has two mountains there on the left-hand side, right? And this is the vinyl and the CD. On the right-hand side is an aggregate view of all of the different media types. So you actually get to see totality of sales and then what portion of those sales related to CD, cassette, whatever. And you do see there on the right-hand side this upward trend of records and streaming and MP3. And that's kind of what we would expect around those time frames, right? The issue is that this poor graph doesn't extend into 2024. I'd be interested to see one that is more modern. Google Trends is something I use a lot to gauge interest in a particular topic. And what I've used it for here, if you go out to like Google Trends, just type in Google Trends, and it'll allow you to put in a topic. What I've done here is taken images of the 5 different topics that I ask it about: CD, turntable, cassette, stereo, and speaker. On the top is CD, turntable, and cassette. And what this is showing us is that the interest, the search histories of those topics has stayed relatively flat for the last 5 years. Now, one little query filter that you'll want to use when you go into this, make sure that when you type in CD, that you're typing in CD and then filtering it for electronics, because you have certificate of deposit too, right? You don't want to taint the results that you're seeing. I'm laughing because it said taint. Anyway, so the CD is related to electronics. And so what they do is somebody typed in CD, the first thing they clicked was an electronics advertisement or whatever, or search result. And so they relate that CD search to electronics. Awesome, great, got it, good. Stereo and speaker are on a downward trend, but hold on, let's talk about that here in a little minute or two. Receivers, vintage receivers are on a plateau, right? They're not decreasing, they're not increasing. Stereo and stereo receiver, though, are. And again, we're going to talk about that here in just a second. Next is turntable, record player, what have you, and you'll see that it is static. And if you squint your eyes and kind of put the screen away from you or step back, you're going to see that actually when you type in record player for the search, it's a little bit on an upward trend. Okay, we might come to some conclusions now, but let's not. CD, compact disc, is steady, right? Next page. Cassette player. No crap, this stuff is going up, and every time I get a cassette player in, it's gone. Every time I get cassettes in, if they're good, if they're like vintage rock, they're fast gone. Like, not even joking. I've had lots of these things sell for hundreds and hundreds of dollars, more than they retailed for originally. All right, anyways, Bluetooth. Let's look at Bluetooth. This one's on a downward trend. I'd be interested to know what your opinion is related to the downward trend in Bluetooth. I have my own ideas, but I'm not going to share them. You guys put your ideas down there and argue amongst yourselves. I'll join the argument. Major brands. So this is one way to gauge the interest in a particular topic if a brand focuses on that genre of products, right? That group of products. So you got Klipsch, Marantz, Audio-Technica. Now the Audio-Technica on the right-hand side there, that one's really hard because Audio-Technica deals in a lot of audio gear as well. But Marantz and Klipsch are almost exclusively to stereo, speaker, all of that good stuff. And you'll see that on the Marantz it's pretty much flat. On the left-hand side, it comes down a little bit, as does the clips, but after they come down a little bit, it looks like they just plateau. And then you have the Audio Technica, and you'll see some like little blips, some hiccups in all of these. That's Christmas. All right. Component popularity. These Google trend searches allows you to query multiple topics within the same graph. And what it does is gives you a proportion of interest in relation to each one of those different topics. So in this case, I had typed in like CD player, stereo, record player, cassette player, and speakers. You can see them all listed there at the top. And number one, speakers. And then number two, stereo. And then almost like small little blips at the bottom are CD, stereo, CD, cassette player, and record player. So, is there waning interest in stereos? It's debatable. It's debatable. What has come about, class D, the last couple of years? I should have put in here edifier on the major brands. There's a hint on my opinion. Media popularity. This one's a little bit more difficult to do, so let's just take a look at it. I put in here CD player, record player, and then streamer, just so that I could gauge like how much ground is streaming gaining in relation to these other types. And I would say, not so much. Not yet anyways. It may go ahead and just, take off like a rocket here real soon, but right now doesn't seem like a rocket. Brand popularity in relation to each other when it comes to turntables. The Victrola, Crosley, and Audio Technica. Audio Technica takes the cake, and this is where you can actually start to see the upward trend. Interesting, right? Now, no analysis would be complete without looking at the customer, me, the customer, you, the customer. All right, anyways, generations. The people that are in the baby boomer generation are starting to like get into that retirement age. And well, a lot of them have been in the retirement age. A lot of them are empty nesters. Most of them are empty nesters, unless something exciting happened. So you got a lot of people with a lot of time and usually some decent money. Seems to me that they're in a buying mood. Let's move on to the next one and look at like what kind of income do these people have? Pretty good income. House is paid off, kids are gone, I'm bored, I want to relive my younger days. Yeah. Now, the next question is like, okay, surely the amount of retired population is going to start to decline. Next graph, not so much. It looks like it's on an uphill climb for quite some time. This graph goes through 2050. Okay. That gives you some data points to come to your own conclusion. I'm going to present my ideas. We aren't anywhere close to a bubble yet. If you're going to buy a Marantz or a Pioneer or whatever it is, if you're going to buy a vintage piece, you better get it now. And you better get it serviced by the techs who haven't retired yet, because they're not a dime a dozen anymore. It used to be on like every street corner downtown. And now there's like a couple in the town I live in. Heck, man, the region I live in. So that's what I think. And that's all I really have to say. We're really interested in knowing what your opinion is. So put it in the comments. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. And keep listening. Oh, like and subscribe too. Yeah, do that. Do that like and subscribe thing.